Hey guys, I'm Chaaya, and today I want to talk to you about climate change. So, in the morning, you go get your coffee. You go to Starbucks, you go to Pete's, and you sit down, you drink your coffee, and it takes 15 to 20 minutes around that time. And what if I told you that for the same price that you got that coffee, I could get you a gallon of gas? And according to Go Green reports, I could put that gas in a hybrid like a Prius, and I could get you from where I'm standing right now to Santa Cruz and back. So I pose this question on you guys. Would you rather spend the money on coffee that lasts for 15 to 20 minutes, or spend the day with your family and friends at Santa Cruz? So I told you I was going to talk to you about climate change. So what is climate change? The evidence. So how do we know climate change is real? So 97% of climate scientists say that climate change is due to human activities. And so I've made this graph here based on NASA.gov statistics, and it shows the carbon dioxide level dating back 400,000 years to zero over there, which is present day. As you can see, the carbon dioxide level has risen and is the highest in ever recorded history. The cause. So why is climate change happening? The answer is greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases pretty much happens when the sun radiates heat onto the earth, and the earth radiates the heat back out. But because of greenhouse gases and how we pollute the earth and the fossil fuels that are there, the greenhouse gases are created and keeps the heat in, which raises the temperature of the overall temperature of the globe. So here's another graph that I've made that show the total greenhouse gas emissions. And I'd like to point out two categories, Germany and the USA. And in 1990, they both started emitting the same amount of greenhouse gases. But Germany's has actually decreased. And over time, because they have put things like implications in to help create less greenhouse gases, their greenhouse gas emissions have actually gone down, while the USA's let theirs out of control, and it's growing. So the effects. So what are the effects of climate change? Okay, so according to Earth's observatory, the global average temperature has risen 1 degrees Fahrenheit. And so you're thinking, well, that's not that big, but it really is, because the last seen ice age, the global average temperature was 5 to 9 degrees less than what it is now. So you're thinking about the Arctic caps and how they're melting rapidly. And according to climate.nasa.gov, if I were to be here right now in 2030, at the rate that the Arctic ice caps are melting, I'd be knee-deep in water. So the solutions. So what are we doing to solve climate change? There are lots of different solutions, but the one that I'm going to talk to you about is the one that relates back to Starbucks and cars. And that's encouraging mass transit and encouraging people to buy electric and hybrid cars so that we can eventually change the global average temperature. And by doing this and getting America behind it and pushing people and really encouraging people to buy cars and use mass transit really helps. So now I'd like to talk to you about my experience with 2010. So looking back in retrospect, my goal was to actually share what I've learned about climate change. But I found that I couldn't really do that. And it was really hard for me to do that because as I researched, I kept on researching, and I couldn't find an end to climate change because it's such a broad topic. So if I were to go back in time and do this project again, I would set my goal and hone down on a specific thing about climate change. And then go from there. So that's my presentation. Questions?